If you think the big three prestigious German brands have the executive car segment sewn up, a drive in Jaguar's second generation XF may be enough to make you reconsider. Even in the face of tough competition from rivals like the BMW 5 Series, the Mercedes E-Class and the Audi A6, this car offers a compelling range of virtues, with a choice of saloon or sport brake estate body styles, and impressive levels of quality and connectivity. Perhaps most significantly, this Mark II model's aluminium-intensive architecture provides for weight savings that have delivered sharp handling and very competitive levels of efficiency. In short, it's a very complete package.
The thing we like most about the XF is its beautifully judged ride and handling balance. Now, this comes courtesy of the car's clever integral link suspension system, which can be embellished with an optional active dynamics adjustable damping setup. And it's one of the things that can be tailored to your preferences via the standard Jaguar Drive Control driving mode system, which tweaks the steering, the throttle response, the stability settings and the gear change timings of the silky smooth 8-speed automatic box that almost all XF models use. Most XF buyers will be selecting between the same Ingenium branded range of 2-litre petrol and diesel units. Now, if you're fueling from the black pump, you'll be offered a choice of 163 or 180 PS single turbo power plants, plus a twin turbo 240 PS diesel. The Ingenium petrol engines offer either 250 or 300 PS. Rear wheel drive is the default drive layout, but Jaguar's effective all-wheel drive setup is optional on the 180 PS diesel and standard on the most powerful 4-cylinder petrol and diesel models. Here, though, we've opted to test the 3-litre V6 diesel, which only comes in rear-driven form and is a power plant that really suits this car very well, with 300 PS and 700 Nm of pulling power. It's also reasonably efficient, managing up to 45.6 mpg on the combined cycle and up to 163 grams per kilometre of CO2. Highway refinement is exemplary, and even if you don't specify all-wheel drive, a clever ASPC, all-surface progress control system, will deliver decent low-speed traction on slippery surfaces in the winter months. If you want to push on through the turns, feel some steering, perfect near 50-50 weight balance, and torque vectoring to maximise cornering traction all help to make this Jaguar surprisingly rewarding, given its luxury remit. Ultimately, though, XF motoring is really about lowering your heartbeat rather than raising it. And if that's the kind of cultured driving experience that you'd like, then we think you'll enjoy this Jaguar very much indeed. From almost any angle, you'd know this was a Jaguar, you'd know it was an XF. This second generation XF 260 series model features a lower roofline than its predecessor, and in saloon form, the rear deck is longer and higher. Arguably even better looking, though, is the Sport Brake Estate version that we've chosen to try here, a shape where every style line serves a clear purpose, creating a fast, sweeping silhouette. Now, a seat in the front of an XF has always been a special experience. I mean, creating this XF 260 series second generation model, the brief was to retain a real sense of occasion, but to mature and simplify the design language a little. So there's a classier, more modern look, as Jaguar's designers have sought to find more interesting and contemporary ways to say luxury. Largely, their efforts seem to have worked. The rising circular gear selector remains on the automatic models, and so do the cartwheeling air vents, although they've been reduced in number and they've been thrown to the edges of the cabin, with the centre of the fascia now freed up for this 10.2-inch in-control Touch Pro infotainment system. Get settled, and as you look around, the height of the waistline and the centre console gives the safe, driver-focused feeling of being sat in the beautifully supportive leather seat rather than on it. At the same time, the strong horizontal theme of the instrument panel, the layering of it, and the materials used for each layer creates a kind of rich, luxurious, handcrafted ambience that you just don't get in this car's Teutonic rivals. Now, just one example of this, what Jaguar calls the Reaver Hoop, which is named after the famous powerboat, this veneered strip that sweeps from the doors right around behind the dashboard, and that, on plusher models, can be coated with exquisite stitched leather. So, time to take a seat in the back. The previous model really had no more room on the back seat than you would have got from a car in the next class down. Even now, 3 adults will still need to be on fairly personable terms, but 2 will be very comfortable indeed. Now, if you're looking for a reason to pay the relatively small premium that Jaguar is charging to buy this XF rather than its smaller XE model, which really is small in the back, then we reckon you've got that right here. So let's take a look in the boot. Now, the saloon gives you a 540 litre trunk, so if you go for this Sport Brake estate body style, you might reasonably be expecting the capacity to be quite a lot larger. Actually, the figure is 565 litres, although the space available is squarer and more usable than a conventional boot area would be. If you need more room, but you still need to carry a couple of rear-seated passengers, then you'll be pleased to see that the rear bench has a central split so that long items like skis can be pushed through. Now, if you need to flatten everything, you can use these discrete levers, which are positioned just inside these flush cargo side panels, or controls on the seat backs themselves, all of which frees up 1,700 litres of completely flat loading space. There's nothing simple about producing a car as good as this one, a model that matches exacting class standards in many areas and leads its segment in terms of its beautifully judged ride and handling balance. True, it might not be the game changer its predecessor was, but then it doesn't need to be. That corner had already been turned. The old XF showed how Jaguar could compete on equal terms with its Teutonic rivals. This car, though, demonstrates clearly how it means to go about beating them.